Yo, what is up, y'all? Dubs Mind, and yes, we are actually doing a game recap video because of the fact that I couldn't do a preview video for that Cavs game. You might have been wondering like why there wasn't a video yesterday. I was very busy. Typically, even when I'm busy, I'm able to get these preview videos out pretty quickly, but I was very busy yesterday. So that's why I couldn't really do a preview video. So that's why I want to make up for it with a recap video. Like I said, I want to do all 82 games. I want to commit to that. But if I gotta make this somewhat quick, I'll still do a lot, but I'm gonna make this a little quick and talk a little fast because I still have to make the preview video for this Bulls game, because of course the one game I couldn't do a preview video if we had a back-to-back. But anyways, hey, at least it's a game that I'm gonna have fun doing because we won. So game recap: Pat Spencer scores a career high leading shorthanded scores past the Cavaliers. He took advantage of his first career start, scoring a career high 19 points, 12 of which were in the fourth quarter, to lead the Warriors past the Cavaliers 99-94 in Cleveland on Saturday. The shorthanded Warriors only had 10 active players, all of them scored and half of them finished in double figures, and the Cavaliers became the fifth team that Golden State has held below 100 points, and the Dubs improved to 4-1 when accomplishing that feat. So offense matches the defense in the second quarter. They had their worst offensive quarter of the season against the Philly 76ers on Thursday, and nearly matched it with 12 points on 4-23 shooting. And oh wow, that was that bad? Okay, I knew it was bad, but damn, in Saturday's opening quarter. Thankfully, their defense kept them in the game, holding the Cavaliers to just 18 points in a frame. The Warriors ended Saturday's game 5th in the league in defensive rating, but just 23rd in offensive rating. However, in the second quarter, their offense stepped up to match their stellar defense, and they scored 33 points and scored 60% from the field, while the Cavs again scored 18 points but on 27 shot attempts. Lucky number 61. Pat Spencer's the only active NBA player who wears the number 61, and apparently there's this story behind his number that Fitz mentioned on the broadcast, which I don't know how true it is, but I don't think it's gonna be spewing out lies. Is that he chose 61 because he's undrafted, and there's 60 picks in the draft, and also 61 was like a kid's college number too, I think, or something along with the numbers being related to college. So yeah. And in his 61st career game, even his first NBA start, he entered the game on a heater, scoring a then career-high tying 17 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder on Tuesday, and a career-best 12 fourth-quarter points against the Philly 76ers on Thursday. On Saturday, he set a new career-high in points and matched his career-best fourth-quarter output. Spencer led a personal 8-0 fourth-quarter run, which included 2 timely three-pointers within a minute of each other, and ended the night with a pair of game-sealing free throws. So, Coach said that, Steve Kerr said that this guy's a competitor. He's a guy you want on your team and the ultimate pro, and everyone has confidence in him. Oh, actually, I didn't know that. Post was 1 rebound shy of his first double-double. He was shy of his first career double-double, telling 12 points and 9 rebounds, and also recorded a game-high 3 blocks matchup against Evan Mobley. And again, the Bulls game. I really enjoyed this game overall. It was kind of obvious that even with these 2 past losses, these 2 games so far already before this game in December were already pretty solid games, because you really liked the actual basketball that was being played, on the field, on the court. Obviously, the outcome is not what you wanted, but it's ultimately something that was pretty good. And you kind of saw that really come into fruition this game, where obviously offense was going, like I said, but the defense really locked in, and then the lead wasn't anything that unmanageable. It's like single digits, even though we only scored like less than 20 points in the first quarter. So I really enjoyed how this game went through. The ball was really moving around a lot. Everyone was playing at a pretty good pace. And I think that is ultimately a result of not obviously having those older players on the team playing those minutes. Obviously, you still need them when it comes playoffs and when the game slows down. But especially for regular season games, when everyone still, has energy and not toward the latter half of the season. These games where everyone's gonna be moving, everyone's gonna be high energy. There's gonna be a lot of that for the regular season. So I do think this was a really nice way to see it all happen. And we'll just look at the box score real quick, because we're gonna look at some plays, a lot of different plays that the Warriors did across the game for different players. I'm mainly picking up 3 or 4 players, but yeah. So let's just go through this quickly. So I didn't know that JK was struggling that bad. I know he couldn't make it. It did seem like a lot of time he was just having pretty bad roll of the ball. He was going in, he was really doing a lot of the stuff that we asked him to. There was obviously a few of those threes that we really would have hoped he didn't take, but ultimately he was going in a lot. It was just really unfortunate that the ball just didn't roll his way that he wanted, but he still managed to get 7 rebounds, which led to him being a +5. That's really not a thing that obviously from these past few seasons where you would see from JK. It's if he wasn't scoring, he probably wasn't a positive player for you, but he grabbed 7 rebounds, which is really big, had 1 block too, so that's why he still ended up in that positive column for the +-. Obviously, Pat Spencer led the way, shot 7 for 12, 3 for 4 from 3, And you know, like the starting lineup is solid. Obviously, Will just struggled a bit. I feel like Will should probably be a little bit more like aggressive with shooting the ball. It seems like he is trying to make the good play too much at times. Like he's trying to make the one extra pass when sometimes that one extra pass isn't really necessary. So I really do hope he gets a little bit more confident and shoots that ball. And I mean, Gary was obviously he missed all his threes, but he was 3 or 5 inside. Gee, this shooting splits weren't the best, but dude, his energy was so like amazing. You can really see it. Pods didn't even play a bad game. He played a pretty solid game, if anything. Moses Moody, solid game too, not bad. TJD also really good game, honestly. Plus 15 has, you know, evidence the highest plus minus on this team. And yeah, again, I think Pods, I think he played well mainly because he didn't have to do a whole ton of the ball handling duties. I mean, he still did, but there was some minutes he shared with Pat Spencer and all. And I think that's what it is. You kind of have to really put Pods in a position where he isn't the main ball handler. I do think his true position might end up just being a 2. Because he does play some pretty solid defense. He doesn't get beyond driving stuff, but he makes up it for his smart wit in terms of like being in front of people for taking charges. And he still has solid, you know, hands, I think. So I think him playing alongside again someone like Pat Spencer or D Melt is like gonna help him a lot. Again, I think he played a pretty solid basketball last year when D Melt was alongside him. So I think ultimately that's the best combo for him. And I don't mind him not starting. I think that's fine, especially with how well Pat has been playing these recent games. This is obviously coming from a person that's a big fan of Pods, but also I was a pretty big fan of Pat Spencer all the way back from when he had that highlight dunk in the preseason against the Trailblazers. I was like, this guy might be pretty damn good. People now are starting to like catch on the fact I'm like, hey, I already kind of knew about him beforehand. But anyways, but yeah, this is coming again as a big Pods fan. Like I think it's fine if he doesn't start. He just needs to play the 2 position, I think. And obviously, Donovan Mitchell, yeah, he had a pretty bad game, honestly. Obviously, he came up clutch in that last quarter, but that first half, even the first 3 quarters, that was abysmal for him. And I think it's pretty evidence from the fact he only shot 42% from the field, despite shooting 50% from 3. So he was 4 for what, 12 inside the paint, or yeah, in the paint, or like inside the 3-point line, which is, you know, pretty bad. Obviously, Evan Mobley, his struggles overall just this season is still continued. This wasn't really a breakout game for him. Jalen Tyson, though, he was pretty solid. I remember he got a lot of boards. Yeah, 11 total rebounds, 7 defensive, 4 offensive rebounds. He was very active. Same thing with Naquan Tomlin. He was crazy too. Their bench players did show a lot of like strength and grit, but ultimately we did kind of outplay them in the end. And man, Darius Garland was terrible too. I remember I saw the broadcast when the game started. He's shooting 30-something% from the field this season. 35, like Jesus Christ, that's the field, not even 3-pointer field. That's the craziest part. But yeah, so none of the Cavs struggles this season overall did not really get relieved in this game, so that's kind of just what led to their demise, I feel like. But yeah, that was a really solid game, and we got the Chicago game today, so that's that. We'll go into some videos now though. So let's first, Pat Spencer, obviously I really like these plays. So first off, we got his driving floating jump shot. So he gets the ball here and drives in, kind of like a brush screen by QP, which leads to Mobley kind of like a no man's land, because he's really not guarding like post, because post can easily just come out to the corner here for an open 3. But also Pat Spencer is gonna end up driving in with no contest, because Mobley is just in no man's land. And I do like this aggressiveness of Spencer a lot, because a lot of the players on the team really just struggle to like not even finish, but just around the rim, but just even go inside the paint sometimes. They just refuse to, or they don't even try to take the shot. Because I get that there's a chance you might get a shot block when you're in the paint, but it's like they don't even try to get a foul attempt, which can happen a lot if you drive in a lot. So yeah, that's definitely a thing. Like I feel like this year, especially compared to past years, like the free throw disparity, I think, is less about the reps and more about us not driving. I think the past years, honestly, I still genuinely believe we've been getting screwed over by the reps, but this year I feel like it's been a lot of just us not making the right plays. But this was a really nice play, kind of just evident that obviously with these 2 first field goals that he had, he got 2 pointers. It just goes to show he's really aggressive in driving, which I really do like from him. It's the one later in the game in the 4th quarter, right? Yeah. Pretty clutch shot, obviously. So it was like a 10-point game for a lot of the game, and then the Cavaliers had a really good fourth quarter burst to start, and it was a 3-point game. Pat drives in, just, you know, obviously not the best, you know, shot quality ever because you have 2 defenders on you, but he still manages to put it over both of them. Again, clutch shots, obviously, but also just his like intentionality to drive inside the paint here. And also kind of like there's like a slight ward off, and just like the athleticism he has and the nice touch he has to just, you know, throw the ball over with his right hand is just so important. He's like, okay, you can see here, look at him. He has his right hand, like he's like looking at his right hand like, damn, I really did that, huh? And he had 2 clutch threes. I mean, pretty simple, really good. Also, what Pat does a lot, I think, is just he has good navigation with the ball inside the paint. Darius Garland, we do a swing pass. Darius Garland tries to guard Guy Sanders on the 3 because Guy did make 2 threes this game. Bad closeout. Results to Guy easy drive in. Now everyone's collapsing inside the paint. Mobley has to look this way now. And then Pat does a good job by not staying here because Mobley's long enough where even if he is looking this way towards Guy, if Pat stays here in the corner, Evan Mobley can easily probably contest his shot. So Pat does a good job navigating the the sideline here, and then Guy finds him wide open. Great open shot. Boom. Again, 5-point game, puts it up to 8 and closer to what we had the lead at for majority of the game. And it's the other 3. So Pat throws it to TJD, who makes a good drive attempt, which I really liked. A lot of the players this game did do a lot of good drive attempts, which look at what happens when you do good drive attempts. So I think that's DeAndre Hunter or someone. And you have Evan Mobley here, Dean Wade here, all collapsing inside. I mean, actually, who is that? I think that's Jalen Tyson too. Like you see, so it's like, I'm doing full screen for this one because it's really interesting, but so TJ makes a good move here, beats his defender off the ball. Now the defender's trailing. Now D-Mitch has to cover Pat because Pat was shooting threes all the whole game, and now Mobley's coming out to help here, which is very interesting that Dean Wade's all the way over here because you have 3 defenders here for 2. Dean Wade, I don't know, wait, where was he? Yeah, he was originally on Moody. I think this also is kind of Dean Wade's fault now I'm looking at it. So Dean Wade has Moody initially. Makes kind of a, again, kind of like a half-baked, I don't want to curse just in case I don't want to get my channel banned, but you guys know what I'm going to say. Half something, you know, attempt to guard the drive here. And again, he's in no man's land, kind of like that previous Evan Mobley situation. Not close enough for Moody or GP2. And now TJD guarded by 3 players, which is the thing. TJD made a good move here because he could have easily just gotten his ball stolen, but doesn't. Finds the threads a needle. Dean Wade's obviously late because he's in no man's land. Now Mitch sees the initial pass. He obviously doesn't trust Dean Wade to make this attempt to guard the shot. And obviously Moody's a 3-point shooter. Maybe it's an instantaneous thing. Maybe Mitch was gonna go contest Moody anyways, but that leaves obviously Pat Spencer wide open, and then yeah, easily could just shoot the ball here. Even if, let's say, like, this is a great play just because, let's say even if Dean Wade was already here, look at what happens. GP2 wide open, and then you can see later in the play here that GP2 cuts here. Obviously, I don't think he's trying to get a shot, but what he also could have happened is, let's say D-Mitch is on Pat's here. Pat could have easily made the pass here into the center of the court. You know, GP2 flashes into the center of the court. He could have easily just had a nice, like, floater shot. And the thing is, yes, Evan Mobley's here, but what would have happened is most likely if if GP2 got the ball high enough for a floater here, and Evan Mobley doesn't block it but still goes up for the block attempt, then that leaves TJD inside position. JK is also right here to kind of help in the case that TJD doesn't get the ball and let's say it bounces. So you could have easily gone like a putback shot here too, but obviously Pat gets a 3 anyways. But yeah, still a clutch to make. Obviously Pat is also clutch to make that shot in that moment. So yeah, that's just kind of my analysis though. Overall, this was just a good play from the team as a whole. So that's that. And then Guy was amazing. So this is obviously just a rebound. I'm not gonna really show his shots because again, I think a lot of his energy came from his just play, hustle play. So Moody drives in, gets kind of bumped, Shot fake, you know, great looking, great open shot here, obviously. Spencer shoots the ball, shoots the three, misses. TJD is doing a good job boxing him out, so both of them can't really go for the ball. They're kind of preventing each other from jumping. And then Guy making a great effort to come out from pretty much what was all the way from the three-point line here to make that offensive rebound here. Out jumping it, and then gets fouled for free throws. So, yeah. And that was really clutch too, because early in the game we got them in the bonus pretty fast, and that was because of the fact that Guy Santos, you know, got that shot fake up and, you know, got free throws there. Oh, and the QP. This one was, oh yeah, he had good this is a great clip to showcase how well QP's how good QP's defense has become over this past year, or like over the offseason. So right here, it's gonna be a two-man game. You know, let's do full screen. I keep on doing this, but so pick and roll. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley sets a ghost screen. Now GP2 is trailing, so now Quinn Post's kind of QP's forced to be in the drop coverage here. But he does a good job navigating it. Also, nice job by GP2 to kind of poke it, potentially making Darius Garland having to give up the ball a little bit earlier than he probably wanted to. It allows, I think that honestly, this probably might just be a good GP2 play at this point. I mean, I still think it's a good QP play too, but you know, that allows QP to recover in time here. It makes a good contest straight up. It even obviously gets the block too, but he gets a good, this one, even if he doesn't block it, straight up, no real, it doesn't, at least from this angle, doesn't look like there's much forward momentum that's going this way, so it's all sideways momentum going straight up. So my video kind of got cut off because my storage got full, so my screen recording got cut off. But like I said, QB does a good job to block this shot too. So again, overall good defense, and kind of just showcasing, kind of sums up his defensive improvement from last year. This one, oh yeah, Pons, obviously I'm gonna pick up some stuff because I'm a fan, but like he played pretty solid too. He had some nice plays. So clutch in the late quarter here. So Pods, honestly, the thing is, like, people are gonna see this part where he's just like holding the ball. It's like, what the hell are you doing? But look at this. Okay, first off, so shot clock's very low. You have pretty much all players covered here. By the time, look at Pods gets the ball, everyone's on their man. No one's really having any movement really. Like QP moves here pretty much to clear the way for Pods though, honestly. So this was for him, and he has Evan Mobley on him, which is a, you know, obviously a DPOI from last year, so it's gonna take some time for him to, you know, make some kind of play. But he does a little shot head fake, again, obviously not always a bad thing to do, a shot fake. Gets into paint here, comes to a stop, and gets the step through, maybe an extra step potentially, but I mean, gets the step through. And again, I mean, yeah, that probably is a travel, because I think he stops there. I mean, I guess it's a jump stop there. So 1, 2, yeah, that second step, that right foot here, probably is an extra step that probably should have been a travel. But again, most of the time, like a lot of the players in NBA do it. The travel calls are so ambiguous. So yeah. But that was a very clutch shot, obviously, with the game now being one possession there before this shot, and then that led it to become a 2-possession shot. And this one was in the third quarter. Pretty standard though. This was another clutch shot. Just pull up, 3, boom. Again, this was during the time where the game differential was mainly 10 points for a lot of the game. You know, they had it to 7, and Pods put it right back up to 10. So another clutch shot. Obviously, this is late in the quarter. Late in the quarter shots are always going to be clutch most of the time, regardless of which quarter it is. Obviously, the later the game is, obviously the more clutch it is. But I think even these third quarter ones are clutch in terms of momentum. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. So he had some pretty timely shots today. And then TJD, just one clip here for TJD, but had a really nice offensive rebound in my opinion. Inside position, Evan Mobley is there too. 2 Cavs players are there. Out jumps Mobley, grabs a rebound, pass out to Pajemski. Pajemski makes an extra pass to the open Moody for a 3, and bang. So again, like all these small things by these bench players have been so good in this game, and I think if this stuff continues on for this season, we might actually have a pretty solid like season, honestly. So we'll see what happens in the Chicago game. Jimmy's probably a problem and stuff, but we'll cover that obviously in the game preview. This is gonna be it for the game recap though for this game. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the game preview video for the Bulls game.